Hello and welcome to Zoo Radio. I'm Colin Daly and each week I'll be taking you on a guided tour of the zoo. We have been granted exclusive behind-the-scenes access to all the major exhibits, as well as a unique insight into the residents from the people that know them best. This series has been recorded using the very latest in three-dimensional binaural recording techniques and is best listened to through a set of stereo headphones.
My name's Claire Oldham. I'm one of the education officers. We work in a team of 4 at the moment, and we teach about 20,000 children a year from the age of 5 up to the age of 55.
Okay, and can you talk me through a typical day's work, if there is such a thing?
Well, I'm sure you've heard around the zoo today that there's not such a thing, but generally we get in on a morning and we spend kind of the first half an hour deciding who's going to teach what of the day, because generally we've got 2 teaching buildings that we teach the children in. We've got kind of a primary room that we teach all the children under 10 in, and then a secondary room that we teach everybody older in. So we kind of sit down and decide who's going to teach what in a day. Between 4 of us, there's generally about anywhere between 8 and 10 sessions, depending on which, how busy time it is. Obviously summertime's a very busy time, so today we've had kind of 3 sessions each today, ranging from kind of talks on adaptation to classification to different types of animals and all sorts. So then we generally get our teaching out the way, which we finish by about 2 o'clock, and then we spend the rest of the afternoon kind of doing all the other jobs we have to do, which might be creating posters, creating information boards, writing information for the website. I've been out taking photos of individual chimps today, because you'll see around the zoo that we have information boards called Chimps Who's Who's, where we basically take a snapshot of the chimp and then we write a description underneath it. So I've been out taking photos so we can write new descriptions of all of our chimps this morning. And then I'll sit and put all those in posters this afternoon. Another lady in our department, she looks after all the research students, because we have quite a lot of people doing research at the zoo and what have you. And we have our animals to look after as well, so we do because we have our own little section of education animals that are a bit different to everybody else's. So we've got the cute and furries like chinchillas and what have you, and then we've got a couple of reptiles like lizards and snakes, and then we've got creepy crawlies, we've got hissing cockroaches and spiders and that kind of thing. So we use those to enhance our teaching sessions, either in the zoo, or sometimes we go out of the zoo as well. We've got our education kind of bus that's got pictures of animals all over it that we'll take out to schools or youth groups or old age pensioners groups or hospitals or whatever, and we take the animals with us and we'll do kind of sessions for children on kind of a hands-on experience with animals.
And do you have to dress up as a rhino?
Sometimes, yes, it's part of my job to dress up as a rhino. We have a different campaign each year that kind of the central governing body that governs zoos in the UK is called EAZA, the European Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and they kind of nominate a different group of animals for us to raise money for. And we've been quite unlucky in the last few years. It's been an animal that we've not got. We've had tigers, which we've not got. Last year was turtles, which we've not got, and this year it's rhinos, which we've not got. But we've got to raise money for them anyway, so we've got round it this year by purchasing Ronnie the rhino, who is a huge foam rhino, who we dress up as and wander around the zoo and wave at people, and he's proved very popular. He's extremely successful.
And I'd imagine quite warm as well.
Exceptionally hot, yes. Can't wear very much underneath him.
That's probably a little bit too much information. And what kind of things do you teach? What's for the kids? What the most inspires them?
I think in our educational sessions, it's the first and probably the only chance the kids get to come up close to things like lizards and snakes. We teach a lot of kind of the inner city schools that come out, and funnily enough, one of the things the kids seem to be most fascinated about seeing are our cows and sheep and goats, because they've just never seen them before. And so they come into our educational sessions and we try and fit in as much as possible with the national curriculum, so it has some kind of learning value for them. So we'll teach them about adaptations that animals have to their habitats. So we'll bring out a kind of a tree frog, and we'll say, tree frogs have kind of sticky pads on their feet so they can walk straight up glass and they can cling onto tree leaves, and all about how they live in the rainforest. And then we'll bring out our lizards, our leopard geckos, who are fat storers. They store fat in their tails, so we'll tell them how they're adapted to their environment and how they store fat in their tails, so they can go for kind of 6 months without having to eat anything, and that kind of thing, really. So the kids seem to really, really enjoy it.
So if a child or a teacher listening and they're interested in getting involved, how would they approach the zoo, or how would they receive training?
Well, obviously we have a lot of kind of people who want to get experience working with out and about with the animals themselves, and generally what we recommend is that they get as much kind of practical volunteer experience as possible, so that they start off somewhere like a stables or kennels or somewhere like that, and they work with animals, and then they can apply to the zoo to do work experience like anywhere else, and they can apply to do work experience with the animals or with us in the education department or anywhere, and as long as they know a little bit about the animal world and the animal kingdom, they stand a good chance.
And are you visiting the Leicester Royal Infirmary anytime soon, do you know?
I certainly hope not.
And what would that be?
Well, I hope I'm not going to injure myself anytime soon.
I meant purely for educational purposes.
Oh, I don't know. It depends if the Leicester Royal Infirmary want us to go.
We've got a new show on in the children's ward, you see. So
yeah, it would be good. We've actually we've kind of been to hospices, but we've never actually been to a proper hospital yet. So it'd probably be good to go.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks.
Okay.
Some primates only eat fruit. Some, like the colobus monkeys, are leaf eaters, while others are omnivores like chimpanzees. Twycross Zoo began to keep one of the world's most endangered lemurs in 2002. Alotran genital lemurs are found in the reed beds at Lake Alotra. Gorillas can weigh the equivalent of 160 bags of sugar, while the smallest primate in Twycross, the pygmy marmoset, weighs only 6 to 7 tablespoons of sugar. Golden lion tamarins were almost extinct in the 1970s. A captive breeding and reintroduction programme has helped to build up numbers in the wild. Bat-eared foxes are unique amongst canids in having an insectivorous diet.
Hi, my name's Mark Jeremy. I'm a cover keeper on the Hooves and Carnivals section. I've worked at the zoo for about 4 months now.
Okay, and which animals are we looking at today?
We're looking at the short-clawed otters at the moment.
And can you tell me a typical day's care for the short-clawed otters?
Yeah, first thing in the morning, these animals will get checked. We've got 7 of them at the moment, so we have to check each one individually, make sure it's all okay. Then we pick up the old food dishes and things, come back later on during the day, clean out the house and pick up all the mess in the paddock. Once a week we'll have to clean the pool out, and then in the afternoon might give them a little scatter feed of bits of fish and things, and also last thing in the evening we give them their main feed of fish.
Okay, how do you go about cleaning the pool? Do you have to drain it completely to do that? Or?
Yeah, we pull the plug and it all drains away, and then we give it a good scrub down and a good rinse down, and then put the plug back in and it fills up.
So it's like a big bath then, really?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, and which member of the animal kingdom do these belong to?
These are mammals, and they're carnivores as well.
Okay, and which country did these originate from?
These guys are from all over Southeast Asia.
Okay, and are they endangered at all? Or?
They're not particularly endangered. I think they're classed as vulnerable.
Okay, and is that why they're in the zoo? Are they just to conserve the numbers, or?
Well, yes, that's the primary reason, but also they're great fun for people to watch. They're always moving around and playing.
Okay, and do they? How many have we got here? Is there 5 or 6 of them, or?
There's 7 here in total.
There's one hiding.
Yeah.
My speed counting's not as good as it should be. And are they all got individual personalities?
Well, To a degree, yes, they all do. But as you can see, that, like I say, they're very playful animals, and they're also very inquisitive. So when we go in to clean them out, they're always coming up and having a good look around and things.
Okay, and there's some kind of mutual grooming going on here. Is it like a pack hierarchy? Is there a definite leader? Is there like a matriarch as such, or?
Well, these guys live in a family group, so mum and dad are generally boss, and the youngsters will have to look after mum and dad and sort of tend to their needs. Also, the youngsters will look after any future litters of pups from mum and dad.
So in the wild, would they mate for life then?
Yes, these guys are monogamous in the wild.
Good on them. That's what we like to hear. And what kind of food do they eat?
Well, in the zoo we give them chicks, bits of beef and fish, and occasionally they get squid. In the wild they eat similar food, but also lots of crustaceans and things.
And how much would they eat a day? Is it like a kind of a bucket full or a skip full? Or?
Well, we feed them 5 pounds of food for the group of 7.
Okay, and do you have to give them additional supplements like kind of eggs or that kind of?
Occasionally they might get the odd hard-boiled egg, but every day their food is sprinkled with carnivore supplement as a supplementation.
Okay, and how do they cook the eggs? I'm joking. Okay, and did they display any kind of human attributes as opposed to naturally wild animals? Do they try and, do they learn from the keepers and, find the way in and out of the paddock and that kind of thing? Or?
Well, they know where their food comes from, that's for sure.
Okay. What's the kind of estimated lifespan then to the captive animals as opposed to the naturally wild?
Well, these guys can live up to sort of about 10 years, but obviously in the wild it'll be a little bit shorter due to natural predators and hunting and problems like this.
Oh, brilliant. And do you know the name for their collective?
Well, I think it's just a family group.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks a lot for your time.
No problem, thank you.
The zoo has employed professional education staff since 1970, who have taught over 300,000 pupils in that time. Education officers live mainly on a diet of coffee and sandwiches eaten on the run. Amongst our small collection of teaching animals, we look after the giant African land snail, a snail that can grow to the size of a football. It is suspected that there are no longer any more gazelles alive in the wild. They became extinct because of habitat loss. Twycross Zoo originally kept llama and alpaca as well as Bactrian camels. Every 2 years, alpaca are sheared, yielding 4 kilos of wool per animal.
Hello, my name is Lorraine Carr. I am head of Pets Corner. I look after goats, zebra's, crocodiles, guinea pigs, rabbits, fish, ponies, tortoises, quite a range actually.
Okay, so we're just going to have a little wander around Pets Corner. We've got a few exhibits here, and the first exhibit is the goats. Which goats have we got here?
We've got Maya, Preston and Chantal. Preston and Chantal are the baby twin goats that were given birth approximately 8-9 weeks ago.
And it looks to me as if they're eating muesli. Is that a true description?
Pretty much. It's a mixture of, it's practically oats, flake maize and that sort of stuff.
And how often do you feed the goats?
They get fed twice a day.
And are they generally well behaved?
Pretty much. They tend to come to the names. They don't mess around too much.
My cats don't come to the names. How long did that take to train?
Well, quite easy. Couple of weeks with the right food, the right treats.
Is that just pure food bribery?
Oh yeah, cabbage, apple, they tend to love that.
Brilliant. And how old are the little fellas here?
They're about 8-9 weeks old.
Crikey, so they're quite big then. They're bigger than cats easily, sort of size of a small dog.
Yeah, I would say they're about that size, yeah, they're grow pretty quick the first few weeks anyway.
And is this mum in front of me? How old's the mum?
Mum is approximately 2 years old. She was given to us from another zoo.
And how old will mum live?
Roughly about 12 to 15 years.
Okay, and is this the sort of size that she'll grow to?
Yeah, the pygmy goats, they're quite small breed.
Okay, and she's got some ferocious looking horns there, so do you generally stay in or out of the pen?
No, they're quite tame actually. They don't tend to headbutt you that often.
That often? Do you have to wear cricket pads when you're feeding them? Or?
No, not at all.
Okay, and if we just take a wander down to the next pen, we have some invisible animals in this one. Are they outside?
Yeah, she's outside. She's a zebu, which is basically an Indian cow.
Okay, so we go down one more. We have some more pygmy goats. And who's in here?
This is Tia. This is Maya's twin sister, and she also has goats. We're given birth roughly the same time as Maya. We have Harvey and Duke in this pen.
Okay, and who have we got here at the end?
We have a group of female rabbits from all different breeds, which were donated from the RSPCA.
Okay, and do these take much looking after?
No, not at all. Just a quick sweep and a mop, and they're fine, sorted.
And are these just your standard domestic rabbits, are they?
They are, yeah. Several breeds, lops, English spots. We have lion-headed and a rex.
Okay. And is there any kind of do you do any special enrichments? I notice in the pen they've got like a little hutch. Did you build that yourself?
No, we have a special team, maintenance.
Hutcheries, are they? Do they come in and?
Yeah, they come and fix everything for us and do all the little buildings. We do have tubes and stuff for them to run in and out of.
Okay, and how long have these been here?
I'd say about 7 years.
And how long have you worked here yourself?
I've actually worked here for 7 years as well.
Aha, so you didn't bring them with you when you arrived, no?
No, I didn't, no.
Okay, and then we're walk behind us, you may be able to hear. That's quite some pond.
It's a very big pond actually, yeah.
And what have we got in here?
We have mirror carp, koi carp and fancy goldfish.
Fancy goldfish?
Yeah, with the tails. They're nice.
Is that a made-up name?
No, that is actually the name of them.
And there's a fella here in front of it. He's enormous.
Yeah, he's about a foot long, I'd say.
He looks very expensive.
They are actually going for a couple of grand in a few pet shops.
You've not been tempted to put them on eBay?
I think they'll notice if there's someone missing.
Yeah, you'd have to freeze him to post him, I'd imagine. Okay, and is this any special kind of food they have, or is it just...
No, they just have floating koi pellets.
It looks like a triffid floating in the middle of the pond, is it? Triffid? Have you never seen David the Triffids? Okay, it's like a big...
Am I a bit too young?
Yeah, I don't know. You may be. It's like a big green plant that attacks people. And as we move along, we have... are these guinea pigs?
They are, yes. We've got roughly about 15 in this pen.
Can you name them for me?
I can't name all of them, no. They haven't actually got names. They're short-haired and long-haired guinea pigs, though.
And these are the same as just domestic ones?
They are domestic guinea pigs, yeah.
Are we allowed to feed the animals in here, or...?
No, unfortunately, we don't do special feeding in Pets Corner.
Okay, and we move along a bit further.
Here we have Rosetta guinea pigs, which are a fancy sort of guinea pig.
Okay, he looks like he's got a mohawk.
Yeah, that's the Rosetta, that's how the hair is shaped.
And are these like endangered or anything, or are these?
No, but they are used for show breeding.
Okay, and have you won any rosettes?
No, we don't actually do show breeding here either.
Have you not thought of having a pageant or anything there?
No.
Okay, and this fella here, he's a part rabbit, part elephant, isn't he?
This is a Belgian hare.
Yeah,
they're not actually hares, they're actually a breed of rabbit.
Okay, he's enormous.
Yeah, he weighs about roughly the size of an adult cat.
Crikey, okay. And in the end, who have we got here?
That's a pen.
Is this just... there's another invisible...
We're in the middle of doing a daegu pen, which is basically a giant gerbil. So at the minute we're just doing all the rocks and stuff for it.
At the very end here we have...
We have broad-fronted crocodiles, or dwarf crocodiles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're roughly a metre long at the minute. They will get to about 2 metres.
Now, what do these fellas eat?
They have 6 to 8 mice every other day.
Okay, and how do you feed those? Is it like a big pole and run for your life, or?
No, we just chuck them over and they'll come and find them themselves.
It's a very technical thing.
Very technical, yeah.
And do these take much looking after?
No, we just clean the pool out, make sure we get rid of any uneaten food, and they tend to look after themselves.
And is this a male and a female, or?
They're all male. There's 3 lads in here.
Okay, excellent. And can we take a wander outside?
Yep, no problem.
Here we go. And who's outside?
This is Annie. We're currently hand rearing her. She's 7 weeks old. She's getting 5 pints of milk a day. That's every 3 hours. She's going throughout the night without a feed.
And what species is Annie?
She's a zebu. So this is an Indian cow.
Okay. And can you describe her for us, please?
She's about the size of a small dog, grey in colour, cow-looking.
Cow-like. And is this pen all to herself, or did the other animals
No.
come out?
They get alternate hours out. The goats are out in the morning till 2 o'clock, and then they're swapped over. And then Annie's out till 4 o'clock, and then she's put back in, and the goats let out for the next hour, and then they're all shut away for bed.
Okay, and do you have much trouble herding them in and out?
No, Annie's getting a bit fussy now. She tends to like to have a time outside and run around and stuff. Annie's actually, due to the Hindu religion, very sacred, and we often get a few people actually wanting some of the ground that she's walked on.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. And is there any plans to get a friend for Annie?
Well, once she's been weaned off the milk, she will actually go back with the rest of the herd.
All right, so there's some others here.
Yes, we have about 5 or 6 other zebus. Her mother's over there as well.
Oh, excellent. Oh, good stuff. Oh, thank you very much for showing us around today.
You're welcome.
Okay, cheers.
The kookaburra is the largest member of the kingfisher family, although it rarely eats fish. Aldabra tortoises were one of the first species to be protected to ensure their survival and are protected by the CITES. The reptile house was one of the first permanent buildings to be erected at Twycross Zoo. Tortoises are classed as herbivores, but evidence suggests that they will take carrion where they find it. Reptiles such as snakes and lizards shed their skin. Their scales are made of keratin, the same substance that your fingernails are made from. Colobus pelts have been worn as headdresses by Maasai and Wet'suti tribes. Tourists buying them as wall hangings or rugs contribute to their vulnerability.
You've been listening to the Zoo Radio podcast. Please like and subscribe to get the latest episodes.